What's up, everybody? Kyle, Emily, Jason here, and we are going to Doctor Strange.
Correction.
Sorry.
We are going to the Scarlet Witch movie.
Yes.
Yeah, or maybe it's the America Chavez movie, I think is the character's last name.
Yeah,
Because
she's in there.
Latinx representation in superheroes. I'm
Which
excited
is nice.
for that.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Excited for that.
Whatever you want to call it, we're here to see the Multiverse of Madness.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to just chaos, really.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not chaotic, I'm going to be sad.
All the doors need to be open.
All of them. Just like,
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, I want to be saying,
What
the hell?
and what's next?
Exactly.
Like, we've got a 90s floating Professor X chair from the trailer, so I'm excited to see that.
Yep.
I think that was Peggy's shield that was thrown is another little egg that we've gotten. So it's like there's nothing off limits, which I think is super, super exciting.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that afterwards, I'm just going to have 3 million questions.
You probably will.
And that's
because
good.
That's
a
yeah.
good thing. Yeah,
Emily
that's
has
what
not
we
seen
want.
every show like we have, but you've seen enough, I think, that you can grasp the main storylines, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Is the lady
Endgame.
from WandaVision, the black lady with the white suit, is she in the afro?
I haven't seen her yet.
I hope so.
I hope so, though. I forget her super name.
I do
name.
too,
I think it's like
but-
Spectrum.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. But like
she's
they
cool.
briefly like, hey, look, she's super, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got of that. But anyway, we're gonna go watch the movie, and then we're gonna come right back and give you all our thoughts.
Let's go.
Okay. I loved it.
Mm.
I'm very happy, but at the same time, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I want to hear more.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
We can't get into that without going to spoilers. So we will talk spoiler free first.
Yeah.
We will alert when spoilers are happening, and then you can continue watching to your own demise. General impressions.
Sam Raimi at his best.
Yes.
Probably the darkest Marvel movie
Oh, easy.
that I've seen.
Do not take your kids under 12. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like
10, 12.
10, 12, like
It's-
maybe see it first. It's got some jump
pretty dark.
scares. It's,
It got
Pretty
me a couple
scary.
times.
I mean, it's
like it
there's
got
some
me.
there's some
Oh,
Evil
hell yeah.
Dead moments.
Uh-huh.
There's some Evil Dead
Very,
moments.
very
in there.
much so, yeah.
Hence Sam Raimi at his best.
Well, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But generally, it was just a good movie. Like, the story overall was cool. The introduction of new characters is always cool. You know, we all knew America Chavez was in this, and her portrayal, I cannot pronounce the actress's name, and I'm so sorry. But her portrayal was amazing. She was awesome. I loved her.
Yeah. Very endearing character.
Yeah.
Loved her progress pin. Just thought that was a cool nod.
Yes.
Yeah. And their relationship is, you know, that endearing relationship you see between Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it with Strange and Spider-Man in the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool to see Strange become that mentor type character. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, yeah, like her, because this is a you know, learning your powers movie for her.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way that was normally that takes an entire movie, and we all watch it once and then we never watch it again because it's like, meh, I want to watch him go do stuff.
Yeah.
She's doing stuff while she's learning all her things and whatnot.
That's a
And,
good point.
you know, it's, yeah, the whole movie isn't focused around that, but it's a big part of it.
It's the way we all learn what our powers are and
Right.
how they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
What?
screwing things up
Right.
time and time again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's very
What'd you
true.
think of Wanda? Because you were excited without spoilers, what did you, like, were you satisfied with Wanda in the film?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's about as good as you can go.
Yeah, it's very
I mean,
hard
her
to
story
not
arc
spoil
is
her.
awesome also.
It really is.
Yeah, I was really worried that it wasn't going to be, and I was going to have issues with it, but they resolved them in the way that I was hoping they would.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
That's all I can say, spoiler free.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think we're going to jump into spoilers pretty quick because there's not much we can say other than it's an amazing movie. Definitely go see it and then watch the rest of this video. And if you agree, you can let us know. If you hate us, you can let us know that too. It's fine. We love you anyway. So, this is your spoiler warning. Done. Go.
I don't know about the two of you gentlemen sitting in this car with me, but I completely related to Scarlet Witch and Wanda and was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I figured that was the case because I only could peripherally like relate because I'm like, this is a story for women and particularly for mothers.
Absolutely.
Like her
Take
story
your mom
is that.
on Mother's Day.
Right?
If she likes Marvel movies,
Yeah.
don't force your mom to go.
Correct.
Bake her a cake or something.
Really, this was the sequel to WandaVision.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And they can't call it that because nobody would go see it, but
Right.
it was the sequel to WandaVision. So if you liked WandaVision, I think you will like this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and if you like what they've done with Wanda's character through WandaVision, they continue that, which is wonderful because in the Avengers movies, Wanda is super boring and like made of cardboard.
Yeah.
And then they really flesh her out in WandaVision, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see her character arc continue in a way that honestly I was surprised, but pleasantly so. And then I worried. I'm like, okay, are they going to portray this as like crazy mom?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I felt like that they were really at risk of oversimplifying and making it this over emotional, crazy woman who can't control herself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they redeemed it. You know, I think they ended it the way that I was hoping they were going to, by having her. You know, well, I don't know. You describe it because it's really your favorite character.
Well, I think that love for your children is the one thing that pretty much, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I would assume most moms could go, that is the one thing that would push me over the edge, you know, in terms of doing things maybe that were out of character for you or that went against your personal code of ethics. If it was to save your kids, you can understand maybe getting to that point. And so I worried too that it was going to end with, like you said, just her going off the deep end and oversimplifying the fact that she couldn't control her emotions.
And trauma, just a victim of trauma, because she lost her kids, right? And it's a very traumatic experience. And I think that in a way it's powerful. It's a powerful story about her trauma because of the way that it's resolved.
I agree.
She overcomes it by recognizing that she has to she has to say goodbye. She has to grieve, and she hasn't really done that.
Yeah, she needs that closure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as someone who does not have kids, you know, you feel for the character. Like, that must suck. I have no idea what that feeling is like. It must suck. You know, like, that's got to be awful. And it totally helps justify her. I say justify. I don't mean justify. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see, because she's the, for lack of better words, villain of the story. But at the same time, she's not, because we feel for her. You
And
know?
I really I feel like that has, I don't know, you know, like I'm fairly a newcomer to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I feel as though over time we have gone into more of the backstory of the villains and making them more human rather than just like, oh, and they're bad.
Right.
Yeah, because that's what we needed after 9/11 was just bad guys, bad guys.
Yeah.
We don't want reasons why. We just want good to win over
We
evil.
just want someone to say,
Yeah.
that's the bad guy,
And
that's the good
thankfully,
guy,
right.
he's going to kill him.
Thankfully,
and
it's
it's okay.
changed, and we're starting to get into
It's
complexities.
so much more gray area than just black and white, to the point where you're like, yeah, I understand why she was pushed to these lengths.
Yeah, and I think that her storyline really even trumps Strange's, who also has his own sort of like, the question of, are you happy and how do you find happiness? Which I think is also, a cool and interesting story too. But it doesn't hold a candle to Scarlet Witch's, storyline and what she goes through. But I think, they're both, they're connected, right? Because they're both struggling with how do you live a fulfilling life?
Right.
So I think that was pretty interesting. But I think we should get to like all the nerd nod cameo stuff.
I'm handing it over officially.
You appreciated the 90s X-Men theme though.
I did.
Yeah, so
underneath.
like the whole, they introduced the Illuminati, and you like in the theater you could hear all the nerds going like, oh, cool. And we get there and we see Black Bolt, and like immediately I'm like, yes, Inhumans, bring them in.
Yeah.
I love the Inhumans. I love them so much. And I'm like, cool. And then they pan over and there's why am I blanking on his name? John whatever.
Krasinski.
Yeah, that guy.
John Krasinski.
He comes in as
Mr.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
and again,
Reed
like,
Richards.
hey, Fantastic Four have had a rough go.
Yeah.
In the movie universes.
What a perfect casting though.
Perfect. Perfect.
Like,
I
he's
liked
perfect
it
for Reed
also
Richards. Yeah.
for
we know why.
comic book reasons.
But Reed Richards is a
Because
cool
the suit
character.
looked cool. Yeah. And then and then we have Sir Patrick Stewart come in, you know, with the classic '90s wheelchair floating thing.
The floating yellow chair, you love it.
The music comes in, and it's like,
Yeah, it did the 90s
Childhood.
X-Men music, and I was just like,
I
excellent.
loved it. Oh my
Excellent.
god! And then as much as I loved all of those intros, like 5 minutes later, they all die.
And in spectacular Sam Raimi ways.
Yes.
Holy
Oh my god!
moly.
Yes.
Black Bolt's death was one of the best
So
deaths
good.
in all of comic books.
Yeah.
Like, and even Mr. Fantastic being basically like
Like string
unraveled.
cheese, yeah,
he
just
was
like
string
pulled
cheese.
apart.
That's exactly
He's just
what they
pulled
did.
apart.
And then his head explodes. I'm telling you, not for kids.
Yeah, this will be traumatic for some
Yeah.
children.
I mean,
So why is it that in like for Doctor Strange he looked the same in every universe, but then like Captain Marvel looked different in the different
well,
universes?
it's a different character who has the helm of those. Like, because Captain America is Peggy Carter, so she just became Captain America in that universe. So she got the super serum. Whereas I don't know if that's the same actress that plays Spectrum. I wasn't very good at. I hadn't seen WandaVision in a long time. But I would like to look that up and see if that's Spectrum as Captain Marvel, because in the
think it is.
comics
Oh,
there is
I
a
don't-
black Captain Marvel.
No, that
in
wasn't
616. That's Spectrum. So it's a different actor. So it's just
Right.
so you just have a different human who, or I guess she's not even human, she's an alien, but who a different Kree who gets the power, which is cool.
Yeah, and it's the nice side of the multiverse is it doesn't matter. It all makes sense. You just
Yeah.
said, well, the multiverse, and
Right,
then
yeah.
it makes sense. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, but seeing Professor X is cool just because, one, you got to see the extent of his power when he travels to the astral plane.
By the way, Patrick Stewart was looking sexy as hell.
Patrick Stewart
really
is a
was.
sexy man.
He is.
But to see him go there was really cool, because because even the X-Men films didn't take him to like his fullest capacity.
Yeah.
Just how powerful of
He
a
actually
mutant he is.
Right.
So I thought that was really cool. And I do still think, even though he meets his demise, that it does open the door for X-Men to
Right.
come through. And really, the fact that Chavez even is still existing on 616, which I love that they gave that nerd nod there too and called the universe
yes,
what it was.
You and I both
616.
were like,
It means that they could bring, or maybe it means there's a Professor X somewhere on, in 616,
Right.
And there are mutants and they just haven't come out of the woodwork yet. Maybe
I
they're
think-
staying underground. Who knows?
And this is something I'm just realizing. That movie confirmed that this universe that we're seeing all this stuff in is 616, which means that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man are not in 616.
Right.
Like, those are all different universes now,
me too.
That's
which
fascinating,
makes
yeah.
me like those movies more.
I agree, which I thought they did with even the last Spider-Man
Yes,
movie.
I did too,
I can like
absolutely.
Spider-Man 3 now because
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't rob me of anything as much, and I can go back and watch it as a really campy movie and
Well,
just like enjoy it.
I don't know if I'm gonna go back and watch it, but I can
I'm saying
appreciate it.
I could do it if kids wanted to put it on. I would
If
not
you
be
had
like,
to do it.
No, you are forbidden. This is the dark arts.
Well, again, I don't have kids, so I just won't watch
You just
it.
do whatever you want.
Pretty much, yeah.
Man,
What's
I
that
can't wait
like?
for those days.
Great.
Sounds awesome.
It really is. Anyway,
Stay for the post-credit scenes.
Oh my
they're
God,
pretty-
yes.
They're pretty cool. And the Bruce Campbell cameo. I love Bruce Campbell. And anytime Sam Raimi can, he puts Bruce Campbell in his movies. And so this cameo where he's punching himself in the face, Evil Dead 2 style, was just made my day. I just adored it because that is one of my favorite movies.
that was fun. I loved it. And then even like when they're going through the different, universes and whatnot before America
Yeah.
can control their power and everything, and they're just flying. And they take us through some of those things that we've seen. Like we see the noir world, we see the cartoon world. They go through a paint world,
Yeah.
which I was really hoping they'd stay in because that was really cool.
cool.
It was
like
cool.
I would like to see how that works.
Yeah.
But just some of these things
Lots
that
of little Easter eggs.
right, and they're
Oh,
now
for sure.
all officially relevant.
Legitimate,
Yeah.
yeah.
Canon,
there's-
as
they're
my son would say.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
But that opens up again, which we knew after Spider-Man, so many possibilities
Yeah.
of where they can go.
Wasn't there something at the end of the Spider-Man movie that had some sort of nod to Miles Morales?
There were things,
Yeah.
there were Easter eggs within the movie that were a nod. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
There
think
was
this
some stuff.
this movie opens that relationship up too.
Yeah, I mean anything can be anything. I mean you like this one opened up the factor that like if it exists here, it can exist here, right? And I think that's cool.
But I think now the biggest thing again, it anything can happen now. And after this movie, like normally after a Marvel movie, you have an idea of what's coming next. And obviously we know Thor Love and Thunder is coming out. Like we know the close things that are coming out. But after this movie, I have no idea what's coming next.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
because
and I
even
think
that last
between-
stinger
Yeah.
was like with Charlize Theron, which
Yeah.
like, yes please.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I had to look up what character she is, and it was like, okay, they're gonna go off into some other thing. So we know there's probably a Doctor Strange 3, or at
Right.
least we know
Well, I
Cumberbatch will
think
be.
between Spider-Man and this movie, Marvel has like basically pushed the reset button on the cinematic universe because they had already gone through Infinity War, and
Yeah.
we're like, okay,
Yeah,
that
what
tied up
storytelling was
that-
left,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, did
So,
that. We did
It's pretty freaking brilliant.
kind of did House of M with this movie.
Yeah, you did a little House of M.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, for comic
So if they
fans.
would go into like Secret Wars and stuff like that would be
Yeah,
pretty
which
cool.
they started to kind of do with Captain Marvel,
Right,
a little bit
yeah.
of Secret, or no, I'm thinking of Secret Invasion, but Secret Wars also.
Secret
would be
Wars
cool.
would be cool.
Yeah.
But there's a whole multiverse of possibilities.
Yeah, just like the actual comics.
I know, it's weird.
It's kind of crazy.
It's like comics are storyboards for movies. And all you have to do is follow them. The weirdest thing.
But don't
Directors
follow
take
them
note.
so closely like they did in Sin City, because that's just boring.
Well, yeah, use them as a launching point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're really bird walking here.
Yeah. But general consensus, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, fantastic movie. Opened up so many possibilities. Fantastically, actors and actresses did wonderful. The direction was amazing. The visuals and music.
Oh, the
Freaking
use of music
fight.
with magic was so cool.
The music fight. Oh my gosh.
It was cool.
I loved it.
There's just a lot.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely. Might be my favorite.
Yeah, so in general, we all love this movie. So definitely go see it. If you haven't, you should. Go. Right now. Quit your job and go. Don't quit your jobs. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us as we talked about this movie. Be sure to check out our website for all sorts of cool geekery things. You can follow us on social media for the cool stuff that Emily posts. And you can watch more of our videos. There's links up at the top. There's links down below. Check it all out. Like it, subscribe it, all that jazz. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.